Hey everybody, this is Nathan Broeckelman, and this is my Mod 1 for EDL 856 School Community Relations. I'll just start out with a few pictures. The first one on the left is a picture of my dogs. Nico's in the big black husky, Miska is the white husky, and then Jax is the little miniature pinscher in the black. My family's dog lovers, so we live on about an acre, so we have three dogs, and we just enjoy their company, and the kids have some extra friends to play with. In the middle is my family. Um, the one in the back right is Cashton. He is 11. And then the one in the glasses is Declan. He is 9 or almost 9. And then in the front, we have Taylor. Front right, she is 7. And on the left, we have Lakeem. And then the little girl that Cashton's holding is Remy. And then the one in the back is baby Creed. He just was born this past November. And then another picture of just me and my wife after a wrestling duel. She's a huge supporter of mine. And she is a stay-at-home mom. She raises our kids and actually homeschools them and teaches piano lessons on the side. I am 34 years old. I am a Norton Community High School graduate. I went to Kansas State University. I got my bachelor's in mathematics and in secondary education, and now I'm currently enrolled at Fort Hays State to do my master's in building leadership. I've been teaching math for 11 years. I've been teaching driver's ed for 8 years. I've been coaching wrestling for 6 years. I've actually just recently took a position at Barton Community College as the head wrestling coach, so I will no longer be in the classroom next year. The bottom left picture is a picture of me and one of my first state champions that we had after he pinned the kid in the finals. So we were both pretty fired up and jacked up. The top left will be the picture I release this week once it's official. I'll release that on Wednesday for taking over the Barton Wrestling program. That was taken during a duel. You can tell I was pretty fired up in that duel. Obviously, it's photoshopped with the background taken out, but just a pretty good picture. I thought it'd be a good promotion for this new adventure and challenge that I'll be taking on. And then in the right picture is just me and my high school assistant wrestling coach. He's been with me since I've been in Great Bend for the past 8 years. So he'll be greatly missed, and we'll be able to coach our kids still together. That's at the Kids State Tournament this past year. We are a very active family. We love the outdoors. I love making projects. In the bottom picture there is a picture of a swing set and fort that we kind of like a tree house, I guess you can say, that we built for the kids to play on. We're very competitive. That top picture there, it's a picture of me and some of the high school kids. There's a dodgeball tournament. Obviously, that was a couple years old as I had short hair then, and obviously now I have some long hair. But every year, some kids try to get me to play on their dodgeball team, and that was one of the years that we took first. So I'm very competitive when it comes to anything that I do. We enjoyed traveling as a family. Last year we went up to Wisconsin. It was my sister-in-law's wedding, but we kind of doubled it with a vacation afterwards and went up to Sheboygan, Wisconsin. If you didn't know, what's crazy about Sheboygan is they actually surf up there on, I believe it's Lake Michigan, there in Sheboygan. A lot of the top surfers come there to train, which I thought that was very interesting, being on the Great Lakes, not on the ocean. So we are currently fostering and looking to adopt. You saw Lakeem and Remy, and we're excited for them to be in our family. So we're going to talk about some various forms of communication. The forms of communication that I currently use, the number one probably being email, which is provided to students and parents. My email, that is. In-person meetings, we have student-led conferences twice a year. I try to attend all IEP meetings that I can. Sometimes I can't make it with my coaching as I was the head coach of wrestling and I help with track. So I do try to attend any that I can. We have an open house at the beginning of the year. As far as wrestling goes, we have a banquet and parent meeting for each season. And we have a collab time built in with our colleagues every single day. Mine's second hour. So every second hour I meet with my colleagues, talk about the math department or things that we're doing for like our Connect class for social emotional learning and things like that. The third one would be social media, Facebook, Twitter. I use the Remind app for my wrestling team. I probably definitely use Facebook and Twitter more when it comes to sports to get information out and communicate. And then I do make phone calls to parents for wrestling reasons, for education reasons. But that's probably definitely my fourth one on my list if I can't get a hold of them through email. Some forms I wish I could use that I learned about was video email. I think that would be a nice ad to let parents know what's going on in our class so that we can hopefully promote student learning. And the other part we learned about was introductions and making a good first impression. Make sure you go beyond just your title and make sure you tell your story. You really want to leave an impact when you're introducing yourself to people, something that can really make sure that they remember you, and not necessarily just a firm handshake, but that's why it's kind of key to know what you're going to be talking about, know your background, know your why, I guess you can say, when it comes to introducing yourself to people with what you're doing in your profession and what's going on in your life. As far as our district policies go, the only thing I could find was the TAP method of communicating with students. We just need to make sure you're transparent, accessible, and professional. Obviously, you shouldn't be texting students individually. As far as like what I deal with sometimes, if a student texts me, I'll re-text them back in a group message with either one of my assistant coaches or another wrestler, as far as that goes, if it's information I need to get out there. Other than that, I did not see any district communication policies. The correlation. This assignment relates to the standard because it looks at the first step to promote effective communication, which is introducing yourself. Whether you are meeting new teachers, students, or parents, making a good first impression is important in providing effective communication with all stakeholders. Next, it looks at ways to provide effective communication with those stakeholders. There are so many ways to provide communication with stakeholders, whether it's email, social media, or in-person meetings. Finding new ways to communicate or effective ways to communicate with all stakeholders is important for teachers and administrators to understand to reach everyone. And being able to communicate with the school and community will help promote the needs of the school and students, which will strengthen student learning. This assignment is relevant to my learning because being able to introduce myself in an unforgettable way will promote relationships with staff, students, and the community, which can lead to better learning for all students. Also, thinking about the different methods of communication that I use and ones that I can use in the future can improve how I communicate with my students, colleagues, and parents to improve student learning. This assignment improved my understanding of community engagement by looking at introductions and forms of communication with which will promote more community involvement if I reach out to community members to promote student learning. This assignment impacted me by thinking about how I introduce myself to others. In class, I usually tell my story to my students. This way they can get to know me a little bit better, hopefully make a connection. But most time when I meet someone else, I pretty much stick to my profession. It has made me think about how I should introduce myself and why that is important to make that unforgettable introduction instead of just a good first impression. I didn't type this in there, but I've noticed that when trying to recruit kids, they really want to know, what's the benefit of coming to Barton Community College, and that's definitely changing how I've been introducing myself to new athletes and parents when trying to see if they want to come wrestle next year. It also has given me some ideas about different forms of communication that can promote community engagement and student learning. It has made me a better educator because I've already thought of some new ways to try while finishing out this school year, like sending video emails to students, parents, or both about what is happening in class. This can potentially promote more parental involvement, which can increase student achievement. Other than that, there's my references. I do apologize if you hear any baby chicks in the background. I kind of forgot when I needed to record this video that we had some baby chickens down in our office. It's just another fun thing that we do with our kids. So anyways, I'm looking forward to learning more about communication and school relations. Thank you.